What's going on, guys, and welcome on in. Well, the patch dropped officially for the Substat reroll system, and I want to talk to you today about it all. Okay, guys, I haven't slept a wink. I'm kind of tired, but we've been researching, looking at testing, running expeditions, and just checking out this new system. That way I can share and drop some knowledge for y'all, because there's been a lot of confusion, a lot of questions, and we still haven't discovered a ton of it, but I do got some nice groundwork, some kind of basic facts to help y'all with, and maybe conceptualize and put it into practice, where it's going to be efficient for y'all, what you should avoid, things like that. Okay, guys, so buckle in. Let's go over some quick facts though. If you want to find where this is, guys, you just go into your inventory and look for the crystals for the equipment conversion, the ice cubes, the equipment course. It's going to be right here on the same tab, modification materials. And there might be a bug flying around, guys, where to unlock this, you have to do like a T1 or T2 expedition. You can't get this just purely through tier 3. If anyone has that result, let me know. The reason is you just got to do T2. It's kind of weird. It might get fixed later, but just a heads up. Okay. Let's go over some quick facts, guys, but stay tuned till the end of the video because I got some disclaimers on how to farm T3s efficiently and get your friends list, and some tips to kind of get a lot of people, a method to get more and more active people on your list so you can farm up these expeditions, because you're gonna have to farm a lot. There's a lot of RNG, but we'll get into all of that. Okay, watch the whole video. First off, let's cover some Substat reroll facts, boys. The tier 2 expedition has a chance to drop the lesser materials. It's a chance, it's not 100%. And the tier 3 will always drop a modification gem, either greater or lesser. And from what I found, we don't have a ton of sample data, but from me and my guildmates, people on Discord, it seems to be about 1 in 3 to 1 in 4 drop chance between greater and lesser. So if you do 4 expeditions, right, you'll get on average maybe 1 greater. That's not exact math, but it seems to be kind of roughly that. So the graders are much more rare than the lessers, and they're not always a chance to drop. You do only need 1 though, guys, to roll the item, and we're gonna get more into that, the exact details in just a second. On top of that, guys, the materials, the modification gems, any combination, any stat, any substat can roll, any set, excuse me, can roll from any boss. So the Brutal Ferris, which, in the depot rewards will give the Wyvern reforge mats, it doesn't matter. He's not going to drop hit set, speed set, or crit set only. Any boss can drop anything, any combination, any set plus substat, and you will need both the set, the correct set, plus the correct substat to roll your item. What does that mean? There's the entire pool is extremely diluted. So if you were trying to fish for that one specific substat plus set, it's going to be very difficult to get. A ton of RNG. You're gonna have to farm a lot to get the greater plus the right set plus substat. Keep in mind, guys, you don't necessarily have to use graders, but I would recommend it. They're just so much better. Plus, with the amount of stats you lose, which we'll cover in just a little bit, you really want to be pushing as much value as possible, which you need to get from the graders. That being said, if you have some lesser runes, lesser gems, please leave in the comments below, actually, guys, if someone can test for me, if you can use a lesser gem and then later on change the stat again with a greater, because then if you can do that, then by all means, guys, just use some lessers that you have so they're not just sitting around. Maybe later they might add like a way to convert these into graders, maybe like a 3-to-1 ratio, something like that would be nice. But for now, it really just seems like a kind of throw it in until you can find the greater, because it's just, you lose a lot of value. You really want to go for these graders, so we want to be pushing tier 3 expeditions. On top of that, guys, let's go ahead and talk about what happens when you actually convert the stat into a new substat. On average, you will lose about 1 roll worth of stats on average. Let's go ahead and pull up this chart made by my guildmate Aki. It's not exact, guys. Don't copy it verbatim. It's not. We're just kind of filling out data submitted to us from different people. But what I mean by that is, if you take the average, so let's say between a 2 and 3 roll, you will lose 1 roll worth of stats when you convert it. Now, the nice thing is, guys, on the low end, on base stats. So let's say I have an item that's heroic, and on the 4th substat, when you re-roll it, it becomes something random. Well, if I want to change that to a new stat, if I high roll it, the range is, as you can see here, 4 to 8 on an 88 piece, or 5 to 9 on the reforged piece. If I high roll it, I get a 9. that is straight up pretty much an exact exchange of stats, meaning I straight up get my new stat and it's the same value or the max value I could possibly get. Let me give you all an example so you can kind of conceptualize a little bit better. That might be easier for some of you. Let's take my Arbiter Vildred, his necklace here, guys. As you notice, I like to run my Arbiter Vildred fast and glass cannon. I don't care about health and defense, so I want to roll this flat defense. Let's say I want to roll into flat attack. Well, I'm not sure what this flat defense, I don't know the range of flat stats, but let's say this flat defense was minimum. I could get a lot of value and end up rolling a maximum, if I get lucky, flat attack here. At worst, I get minimum flat attack and it's about the same, but since it's a base roll, right, I get equivalent or better value. Now, the higher you go, right, if you were planning to turn a penta roll stat into high speed and becoming a speedster, it's probably not going to, not probably, it won't happen, guys, okay? You lose almost 50% of the stats if you convert a penta roll into a new stat. So don't count on that. Basically, guys, the system, it's going to fix up already good gear and make it even better, like min-maxing. It's not going to turn crappy gear into god gear, essentially, all right? That's the gist of it. It's going to be nice to fix up certain things like arena gear, free gear, items like this, epic gear, right? I can just straight up turn this effect resist. This piece is already very, very good, but I can make it even better, turning this into speed. A base roll of speed, which I believe, let's see what Aki wrote here, would be 2 to 4. So I could get 4 speed extra on this instead of this effect resist. But it was already good anyways, right? So think of it like that. Now, if I wanted to convert like the attack into speed, I lose a lot more. Remember, the more rolls you get, it exponentially gets worse in value when you convert it. So try not to do it on pieces that have a ton of rolls into one item. I already mentioned it, but did I mention it? The 90 reforges will get better stats than 85s or 88s of the same type. So 88 gear, essentially the ranges of stats. 90 reforges will have higher ranges, meaning more stats overall. So I'm pretty sure that's intended. They wanted the reforged gear to be the end game, and this free gear, Hell Raid gear, it's the same as an 85. You won't have as much value, okay? Also, one quick side note, guys, an extra use for these gems on base rolls is, let's take this piece for example. You can turn the same stat and try to get a higher range on it. So I have 6% attack here, right? And I believe the attack percent is what, 8% at max. I could theoretically, if I high roll, get 2% more attack on this piece. If I min rolled this and say it was 4% attack, I could straight up get 4% more attack. So don't leave that out, guys. Think of it as you were really pushing the limits on our gear, min maxing, but you can reroll the same stat. So if you have pieces, you know that you don't have anything missing. You're gonna have a lot of random what do you call them, gems, because you're going to be farming so many for the specific ones. Keep that in mind too. There's a little bit of like unique things you can do, like push a few more of the same exact stat if you low rolled it, for example. So to recap, guys, what does this mean in terms of what you're actually going to be gaining with this new system? Well, I kind of covered it already. You won't magically come up with 290 to 300 speed units by changing your pentaroll items into speed. You lose too much value from that. Realistically, you're going to have good pieces become even better pieces, godlike pieces, but it won't turn your trash gear into good pieces. The main thing is like your free raid sets for most players, your health sets, your arena sets. You can change those into even better, fix up some stats, things like that. Let's give you an example. I showed y'all my T-Cern neck. I could change that out. My RB, he's going to change a lot of things like health and crit damage. The arena gear, let's go over some of the arena gear real fast that a lot of people have. For all of these guys that have that random effect resist roll, will straight up get an increase. We can turn this into speed, into flat attack, whatever we want. Same with like this ring right here, guys. Oh my goodness, this is a great example. A lot of y'all, you know, I know you share my pain. You max roll that effectiveness or ER. Well, you know, the more rolls, like I said, we get into a piece, the less value we'll get. But here's the nice thing, guys. We don't want effectiveness anyways, usually on this kind of item. So even if we lose some value, the fact that it's going to be a stat that's suited more for our unit, for example, here we have Sirmia. We would want this to be speed or flat attack. Even if we lose some straight value, the fact that it's something not effectiveness is very good in my opinion, right? So all the arena gear, the Hell Raid gear, those that already came with stats and one of them guaranteed was a bad stat, because, you know, Smilegate loves to give us the ER, the effectiveness. Well, we have a reason to roll these. So there's going to be a lot of uses for everybody to kind of fix things up. Just try not to, I hope no one was planning to get some crazy godlike gear out of nowhere. It's just not really going to happen, okay? Now, remember at the beginning of the video I said, guys, things you can do to min-max your friends list, get more people active, get more expeditions, because you're going to need to run a crap ton, right? People are running these like crazy. Look how many I've run so far. This is all T3s. Let me give you all some tips and then some extra help to get active players on your list. Number one thing, guys, is, let me show you all real fast. Let's go into our expedition page. We want to, oh, I don't have a wanted poster here active, but hopefully you guys know this. When you make a poster, you have when you invite people, I really wish I could show y'all. You can invite from your friends list, and then you can invite from your guild list. By the way, did y'all notice, guys? I went into the expedition and it said one was active, and now they're all gone. I'm telling y'all, people are running these like crazy. You really want to get as many people as possible, get as many posters as possible. But like I was saying, you have a friends list section that you can invite people from, and you have a guilds list that you can invite people from. What does that mean? Well, if you're in an active guild, and if you don't, I'll help y'all in just a second. But if you are in an active guild and you plan to stay there, go ahead, guys, and I know this is gonna sound crazy, they'll forgive you. Remove all the people on your friends list that are also in your guild, okay? And tell them to do the same on theirs. Why? Because like I just said, you have a friends list and a guild list. So take all the people out of your guild and invite friends that are not in your guild. Make sure the 40 slots in your friends list are not in your guild at all. That way you have 80 people that you can get invites from and send towards. And the more people that do this, the more active players we'll get, the more T3 expeditions we'll be able to run, things like that. Now you might be wondering, Car, I don't know too many people, I don't have an active guild, I don't have active friends. Well, hopefully I can help you out a little bit. We've always had this section on our Discord, and I'll put the link to the Discord in the description below, and I'll put one up above. We have a section, an expedition section, where you can add your friend code, and hopefully there'll be, you know, we have a lot of people using it right now, but the friend spots are filling up fast, so I can't guarantee you'll get people, but it's a good shot. You can also check the official E7 Discord. We just started our 10th guild, but the slots also there are filling up too very quickly. I apologize, guys. Just too many people need quality guilds, active guilds. I'm trying my best, but I can't promise anything. Just hop on the Discord. Maybe I got a spot for you in a guild, or you'll find active friends in our Discord section, okay? So that'll help out, but you really, really, really want to separate your guild list and your friend list and start, you know, maybe weeding out the inactive players on there. It kind of sucks to remove players, but you're going to have to get, you know, these posters running if you want to have your best chance at getting the right substat gems. Remember, guys, the RNG is stacked on top of each other. It's going to be very, very difficult to get your specific gem, so you really want to give yourself the best odds and get as many active people together. All right, now overall, I want to make one thing, my personal take on the entire system is the overall RNG, guys, in my opinion, might be a little much. It's so hard to get specific things that I almost want to say that for a lot of players, you might want to just farm hunts in general. I know my new to get mid-game players, until you can farm T3 expedition, guys, you don't really want to be farming these besides trying to hustle and get your depot rewards, right? Because the expedition depot rewards, guys, always amazing, always do them. And then on, you know, think of it as a bonus while you're doing this depot rewards. If you get a crazy gem for the item you need, hey, even better, but it's gonna take a lot of luck. And those of us like me, I will be farming extra even after I finish the depot to try and fix up those few pieces of gear like I showed y'all on my Arby, on my Tempest Cern, on the Arena gear, on the Hell Raid gear. I'll be farming a lot to try and get those. But for everybody else, if you're not on T3s yet, or if you know, you just don't think it's worth it because the chance of getting that specific gem is so rare, maybe just do hunts for now. Perhaps we'll get an adjustment to make it a little bit easier in the future, but it's very, very new, guys. I don't want to say anything for sure yet. If you do have constructive feedback, though, leave it in the comments below. I'll gather it all and forward it to the Smilegate crew. But overall, I do think it's best to think of this as a net gain for everybody. It's just kind of a nice feature. Like I said, the rewards, the actual gems drop in addition to our normal rewards, so they're not taking anything away. It's all extra. Try not to focus on the negatives and start getting your friends list and T3s pushing, okay? Because it's going to feel good getting those random substats fixed up and getting your units feeling even more perfect, maxing out that last crit chance to get to 100% crit. It's going to be overall good, guys. Just start focusing and working on getting the necessary steps to, you know, farming up these gems because they're very rare. All right. Anyways, guys, like I said, leave all your comments, questions, anything in this description, or not description, in the comments below. I appreciate all the support. So many of y'all been stopping by our Twitch streams. But those of you that stick to YouTube, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Let me know how the gem system has been going for you, okay? Thank you, guys. See y'all soon.